All right, so let's try this now.
Hope everybody's out there. Sorry, my mix up. It was on my end that sort of screwed the pooch. Little bit of a technical issue, but we're up and running now. So hopefully they'll join us. And I guess we're going to have some people thinking it's at 7. So, but anyways,
No, they should get they should get the notification going out
that we're going
that
live now.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Okay.
we're good. Yeah, we're good. But yeah, guys, sorry for that. For those of you that are in here, what's up, Joseph? What's going on, big dog?
Oh, there we go. Starting to get the guys coming over.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna talk about the NBA Finals tonight. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this freaking game already. We figured we'll give the Miami Hurricanes a little break for now, and answer any questions just like we did in the last live chat. So, who do you guys got? What storyline you think is gonna be the biggest impact, tonight? So, we got Niner Joy, we got Jason. What's going on, Jason? So what's up, big dog? Like, what do you think? Who do you? I know you're.
Well, I'll tell you what. I enjoy greatness. I didn't have a real rooting interest in the finals until the KD incident, and I do have a couple of strong opinions. If you want me to start with that.
Strong opinions about what?
About the whole thing with KD. About the whole thing.
Okay, I haven't heard your opinion on it yet, so you go ahead and go, and I'll give my 2 cents on it after you.
Number one, I really, really, really disliked the way people were talking about KD before he came back, like that he wasn't playing on purpose because he could come back, but he wasn't playing, holding Golden State ransom because of the whole thing of him being a free agent and all that talk. Oh, it doesn't even matter to him anymore because he already has his rings, and that really got under my skin. Okay, first off, if you ever were an athlete at a decently high level, you know that championships and winning don't ever get tired. Mm-hmm. That doesn't ever get old. Ask Tom Brady if this 6th Super Bowl didn't mean just as much to him as the first one. If not more, because once you already been to that mountaintop a whole bunch, you know how hard it is to get there, and you know that every single opportunity is precious. So all those people that were ragging on KD about him, it's only a calf strain. He could come back. Oh, he's being a prima donna. Oh, he's being this, he's being that because he was out the 5 weeks he was out. That okay, I'm not a particular KD fan. I know how great he is, but not one time did I doubt that the reason he wasn't playing was because he couldn't get out there. Okay, so that's number one. All that criticism that I heard going to KD's way was all undeserved, and a lot of it was from people that have never been athletes at a high level and don't understand that if he could be out there, he'd be playing. Okay, so that's my first strong take. Number two, the fact that he came out there and gave it everything he had. You saw what ended up happening. You actually showed me the video where you could actually see his Achilles tendon popping and his calf muscle just rippling after it popped. So the fact that he went out there and gave it a shot because his team was facing elimination, I think should be applauded. Nobody should blame the Warriors. Nobody should be armchair quarterback and say, oh, KD shouldn't have done it because look what happens now. And now is Golden State going to even offer him a big 5-year deal, or are they just going to offer him a 1-year deal? All this negativity behind.
Well, yeah, he has a player option that he could pick up. So well, I mean,
I would like, frankly, I want to see. Before I have an opinion on it, know what I want to see? I want to see Golden State to let him opt out and to sign him to a 5-year max deal. That's what I want to see now, because I want to see him get paid for what he did, which was giving everything he had, knowing he was because I know people said, well, nobody knew he was taking a risk of his Achilles tendon. I get all that.
That's a lie. I'm sorry. That's a
Well,
lie.
the fact is, I know. I guess it became the news that they said was that he had been told that he couldn't damage it any further by trying to play. Okay, that I don't see how any doctor would tell him that, because forget about the Achilles tendon. If it was just a muscle strain, everyone in the world knows that with a muscle strain, yes, you can hurt it worse by so that I don't buy. But I just, man, they've made me, obviously I'm still a Heat fan, but they've made me into a Warriors fan, because now I want them to win. Number one, the reaction from the Toronto fans was classless. And everybody always gets on, oh, Miami fans or whatever. The Toronto fans waving at him and applauding. You saw even the Toronto players, and I have to give them credit. They manned up. Kyle Lowry. I forgot who were the other ones telling the fans to stop the cheering of the injury and all this stuff. So I have to, and it wasn't obviously all the fans, because I'm sure there was fans out there that weren't doing that, but there was quite a bit of them that were really happy that KD went down. And I'm sorry, I'm as competitive as anybody else, but I don't ever want to see anyone get hurt. And I want to beat you, but I want to beat you at your best. So you losing a unarguably top 5 player in the league, top 3, really. Okay, and many will say that with LeBron aging and stuff like that, that he could very well be the best player. But that's not I don't think he is the best player, but I think he's darn near the top. But for the reactions that the fans did, I didn't like the negativity being heaped upon KD first when he didn't play, and then trying to say that it was dumb that he tried to play.
Okay. All right.
That's my hot takes.
All right. My turn? I'm good now? All right.
Yeah.
Before I get into my point, I think I said what's up to Niner Droid. What's going on, baby?
I have to give it to Niner Droid, though. Boogie Cousins being an X factor, I think there's something to be said for that. You saw the lift he gave them offensively.
We'll see. Ro, what's going on? Loud Pack Lion says he has Warriors in 7. Warriors will not lose at Oracle the 3rd time this series, now with the title on the line. All right. So
Loud Jack, who is that? Loud Pack Lion? You guys forgive me. Remember, the big dog has a lot of gray hair, so my eyesight isn't the greatest. Yeah. Warriors in 7. I'm with you, man.
All right.
I am with you.
All right. So this is my take on the whole KD situation. I was one of those people that said that he should have never been on the court. Period. I saw the injury, all right, in the Houston series, and I don't care what anybody tells me. Okay, maybe he strained a calf, but I will not believe anybody unless I see that MRI myself. And that MRI shows that there was nothing wrong with that Achilles tendon. I don't believe that for a second. Hold on. Let me hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
I want to see you address this in what you're saying. And what you're saying is, here's my question to you that I want you to incorporate into what you're saying. If an athlete is not going to push it the 5th game of an NBA Finals when your team is on the brink of elimination, when do you push it?
Okay, fine. All right. Are you done? Can I go now? Okay.
Go ahead.
You done? You done?
Yes.
All right. So this is my issue. I can't think of anybody that saw that injury against Houston and didn't think it was an Achilles automatically. Now,
yeah.
Now, the whole time when he was trying to get back, and he had that 32 days off. I think it's what it was. We always saw that ice pack very low on that calf. Always.
Right.
All right. It was never where he got that calf strain, quote unquote. Now, my problem with this is at the end of the day, KD wanted to be out there. He's a competitor, and he wants to be out there with his team and trying to get his 3rd straight ring. Fine. Granted, I don't take anything away from that. I think I agree with you on your point that people questioning KD and whether he wanted to come back and play because of the whole storyline on that the Warriors need him or they don't need him. I think that was all smoke, and I think that was bullcrap. I think KD wanted to be out there 100%. My only problem is KD's people around him, whether his agent, whether look, at the end of the day, we could speculate and say that maybe they didn't tell KD the severity, or I don't think there was any intentions from Steve Kerr or the Warriors coaching staff, frankly, but
or the organization, the whole organization.
Now, because he got a second opinion. That was after he got to make sure the Achilles was ruptured. That Achilles tendon was compromised. It was compromised. I don't care what anybody tells me. And
hold on.
Hold on, man. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second.
Hold on, from a medical
give me
aspect.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
So KD, all right. Because the calf has nothing to do with the Achilles tendon. Your calf could be messed up. You could have a calf strain that doesn't, improve or no, that has nothing to do with the Achilles tendon.
No. But a lot of Achilles tendon injuries happen because of calf weakness.
Okay, fine.
I just want to say that.
Okay. When you have seen people like strain or pull a hammy or pull a calf, what's the first thing that they do? They go down in pain because it hurts. You've pulled muscles before. You strained muscles before. I've pulled muscles. I've strained muscles. KD had the exact reaction to anybody that you've ever seen mess up their Achilles. He had the same exact reaction. Looking back, like if somebody hit him. We've seen him in football. We've seen him, in basketball. And the guys aren't grimacing like they're dying of pain. They're just like, what the heck is that? And then they can't walk. So there's no question in my mind that Achilles tendon was compromised since that injury in Houston. My problem, is I do not think he should have been out there at all. And I said this before he got cleared to play in Game 5. I said, I have a bad feeling about this. I told my coworkers, I told some of my close friends, I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about this. Now, you saw him in the pregame warmups. He was moving fine. Okay. Once the game got started, what was KD doing? He wasn't looking like the same quote unquote. He's fine. His calf is healed.
Right.
He was pulling up from three.
Well,
no, well,
he was hitting those threes.
Okay, because he's almost a 7-footer. And obviously nobody's gonna block that shot. He hit those threes. Fine. I was watching that game and I'm just like, I'm scared to see when KD has that ball and he has to drive to the lane, because then we're really gonna see the test on that Achilles tendon. Now, I'm not blaming the Warriors. I'm not blaming Kevin Durant, but I'm blaming the people around him. He had to have been told that there was some kind of percentage that he possibly could rupture his Achilles. And I was thinking about this today. Maybe he needed surgery already in the offseason. Maybe, a surgery was going to be inevitable no matter what, because maybe he had a little partial tear, or there were a little strain, like there's something in his Achilles tendon that wasn't right. So maybe he was going to have surgery no matter what. So maybe he said, you know what? I'm going to have surgery to take care of this issue. So I might as well go out there. I can't necessarily make it any worse. So whatever happens, happens. I blame the people around KD for allowing him to play, frankly, because we've seen. Now we're going to see if Kevin Durant is going to be the same Kevin, because he's going to take a whole year. He's not going to play next season. We know that. We're going to see if Kevin Durant is going to be the same exact Kevin Durant that we've seen. And my only concern is that, after an injury like this, are we going to see the same KD? And that's the reason why I got upset, because I never felt that he should have been out there on the court. Okay. If that's your first ring you're fighting for, okay, I get it. But dude, you just won back-to-back. Okay, this is not your first championship either. Like, these guys gotta take care of business. And frankly, I mean, you're down 3-1. You're in Toronto. You're not 100%. How much are you really gonna be able to help out your team? You're not gonna be the same Kevin Durant. You're just not.
Okay, hold on. Him playing, you're gonna tell me he didn't help the team out until the second quarter he got hurt.
Yeah, because he hit a couple
Warriors
threes.
were playing. He hit a couple of threes. He was demanding defensive attention. Okay, so here's the thing, and I saw Everett Roldan. By the way, everybody, thank you guys for coming out and thank you for the support. And I apologize, the technical difficulties were on my end, which is why we actually got it. We were ready to go from like 6:20, but then we started having technical issues on my end, and that's why it got screwed up. But anyways, thank you all for being here for supporting.
Laupac Line. It's tough. It's tough for me to read that, and you really think that was the same Kevin Durant?
No. Okay, listen, I am in the Loud Pack Lion. I am with you in terms of your opinion on it, but I won't go that far to say he was the same KD. You could tell he was not playing with the same abandon physically. Okay, which he couldn't do it. My point was it was this with KD. And this goes to Everett Roldan made a point that he shouldn't have been out there. Okay. First off, which is why I was fired up about it, was I did not like all the negativity before heaped on KD and heaped on the Warriors. That KD could have played and he wasn't playing. That part really rubbed me the wrong way, because when you have I understand that people say, well, KD won the genetic lottery because you look how tall he is and all that wingspan. You don't become one of the greatest players in the world just because you were born really tall, you were born with a great wingspan. He worked really hard to get to be as good as he did. So number one is respect him as an athlete. That's number one. Hold on. Number two, he's a grown man. We're not talking about a high school kid. He's a grown-ass man who knows, because how many years did he spend in Oklahoma City where he got one shot in the NBA Finals against us, against the Heat, and he lost. He knows that nothing is guaranteed in this world. Nothing. So this idea that, well, save yourself to fight for another day. Listen, man, all throughout history, one of the things that we admire most in sports is when a guy overcomes injury and pain. Yes, both of them. I know there's a difference between pain and injury. I get that. Athletes as a whole are not trained to treat pain any differently than injury. That if you can find a way to go when you have an opportunity to win a championship, you go. And instead, and then even when he hurts himself, I saw negativity heaped upon him and the Warriors organization. Oh, they didn't do the smart thing. Man, you're in a game 5 of the NBA Finals. If you're not going to try to push yourself at that moment as an athlete, when do you push yourself?
When your Achilles tendon isn't compromised.
I get that, but there was no guarantee the Achilles tendon was going to give way.
Okay,
that's not that. It's not like your Achilles tendon is going to pop.
But there was a chance. Of course,
there's a chance, and there's a chance more because his calf muscle was compromised.
Okay,
I get all that.
And okay, I'm not putting any blame on Steve Kerr for throwing him out there, but Niner Droid made a good point, and this is a point that I wanted to talk about as well, that he should have been restricted. Out of the 14 minutes of the game, he played 12 of them. I'm sorry, if you're coming back from an injury. Okay, I don't care if it's game 5 of the NBA Finals. You should not be playing 12 of the 14 minutes before he went down. You shouldn't be. There's no excuse for that.
But they're facing elimination.
I get it, but still.
If they don't win that game, it's over.
I get it, but he played 12 of the 14 minutes.
Okay, let me ask you a question. And this is what I want to say, everybody that's on the chat. I can't tell how many people are on the chat with us.
We got 9 people here. Guys, for those of you that are in here, if you haven't already, hit that like button. We really appreciate it. We're just getting started, baby, and it's getting a little heated because I don't. Man,
if everybody that's in here answer this question,
you're a Curry fan.
If you were KD, no, but I've never been it's not like I'm a KD fan. Okay, it's not like I've been a KD fan. But I didn't like all the hate that was headed his way, when he didn't play. And now that he goes out there and guts it out and tries to do it and pops a tendon, it's like before they were questioning his heart, and then he plays and they're questioning his brains.
No, but nobody. No. You're
And
confusing it. Nobody's
no, I'm not saying
questioning.
you. I'm not saying you necessarily.
Nobody's
But
questioning KD. Nobody putting any blame on KD.
you're gonna tell me that when he wasn't playing that they weren't throwing shade his way?
No, yeah. When he wasn't playing, people were throwing shade his way. But
Okay, so
people are
when he
not
does
throwing shade
play,
his way because he went out there and played.
right?
People are questioning the doctors and they're questioning the Warriors
I
organization
get that.
that he
Okay,
shouldn't have been out there.
I get that. Okay, I get all that. Okay, but instead of questioning all that, can't we just celebrate that this guy, like you said, has already 2 rings, countless millions of dollars, has all this stuff, and he put it all on the line to try to win another championship? Can't we just celebrate that?
No, absolutely. I'm not saying Loud Pack Lion. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the sub, baby. I'm not saying that we shouldn't celebrate it. What my only problem is I never thought that KD should have been out there in the first place, man.
That's fine. But my point is, if you're gonna push it, okay, if you're gonna go beyond your limits, game 5 of the NBA finals is the time to do it. When your team is facing elimination. Okay, maybe he doesn't play game 5 if the Warriors are up 3-1. Okay.
No, he doesn't. Okay, if
That's
the Warriors
fine.
are up 3-1, he doesn't come back unless
That's
it's
fine.
a game 7.
Do you guys, those guys that are as old as me, you guys remember what did Dan Marino say as upset as he was when they lost the Super Bowl to the 49ers in his second season? What did he say? We'll be back again next year, or we'll be back. We'll be he'll get a whole bunch of times to win another title or to win a title in the NFL. And what happened? He never made it back to the Super Bowl.
Okay? Yeah, but he also never won before that.
What do you mean? No, I get that, but the fact is, when they went to the Super Bowl that second year, and Dan Marino was great. No doubt about that, right? First ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He went to the Super Bowl in his second season, and they lost to the 49ers, which I'm sure Niner Boy is going to like. But
Loud Pack Lion, too, he said 49er gang, so I think we have 2 49er fans in here, yeah.
All right. But Marino thought he would be back to Super Bowl a bunch of times. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee just because the Warriors have a super team. There's no guarantee that KD was going to get another opportunity. So I don't understand. Listen, I guess what bothers me, I should say, is it seems like everybody always finds a reason to be negative about something.
Well,
that's the thing.
That's the climate that we live in.
Yeah, that clickbait stuff. But it's he got shade his way because he wasn't playing. And then he comes back, and yes, some of it's been on Durant, but most of it has been on the Warriors organization. Okay, and you remember how many times did you see people criticize the Heat organization for not allowing Chris Bosh to come back when he still wanted to? And people were criticizing the Heat, and Chris Bosh was risking his life. He wasn't risking an Achilles tendon. Chris Bosh with a blood clot issue, he could have ended up dying.
So do you think? Okay, I just have one question for you, and then we'll move on from this whole injury issue with KD, and we'll start talking about the game tonight. Do you think that the Warriors organization and the doctors, were 100% completely honest with Kevin Durant on the significance of his injury?
As far as they could be, yeah. I don't think they lied to him. I don't think they lied to him to get him on the court.
Okay, so, all right. I mean, so then if, Kevin Durant knew the risk, if they told him, hey, look, man, there's a 20% chance, 30% chance that, your Achilles is already compromised, there's a chance that you could rupture it completely, 20-30% chance. At that point, then should anybody get the blame for allowing KD to go out there? I mean, should Steve Kerr
I don't
carry any of that?
I don't think that's what they told him. I think that they felt pretty confident that he was going to be okay.
Okay, if that's the case, then I have a real problem with that, because you cannot tell me that a month ago that Kevin Durant did not mess up that Achilles in some form or fashion.
Something undetected, or something that you think that they knew about?
No, something that they knew about that came out in the MRI.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. You have to remember something. The Warriors' investment in KD is huge. You know, they're paying him millions of dollars.
No, I get it.
Okay, and they know what KD is worth to that franchise down the road if they can keep him. So
Yeah.
why would they risk? Okay, if you want to think they're cold-hearted, that's fine. But why would they risk their investment in a guy who's one of the best players in the world?
And a guy, why would they risk their investment in a guy who's there's been talks about the NBA who's not even going to return to the Warriors next season?
That's fine, but you don't know if that was a conversation with KD and the
No,
Warriors.
okay, but there's been talk around the NBA.
There has been that this was his last year with the Warriors.
That this was his last year with the Warrior, and then his legacy. Can he win somewhere else, and then he'll finally gain that respect if he does win somewhere else? So there was talks.
So you think the Warriors were like, well, okay, we might lose him anyway, so who cares? Let's throw him out there.
I think that's. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but I think it's reasonable to say that that's a possibility. That hey, he's not going to come back anyway. I mean, you saw the fights with Draymond and Kevin Durant. Draymond telling him, "Hey, man, we won without you. We did this without you." Type of thing. Like, and then you hear the talks that Kevin Durant listens to everybody. Kevin Durant he listens to everybody. So you don't think that's been playing in the back of Kevin Durant's mind the whole time on people, saying that I'm not a legitimate champion because I joined the Warriors team that beat the
173 games without him.
And then so you don't think he's hearing that? And then you have your own teammates telling you that. And then there was talks that, heading into the playoffs that KD was only taking like 12 shots a game. So his teammates were kind of like, dude, like, what's going on? Like, you're Kevin Durant. You're the best player in the planet. Steve Kerr was like, hey, I want you to be putting up 20, 30 shots a game. Like, what's going on? So there was already a lot of stuff brewing in the locker room and a lot of awkwardness going on as well. So then you don't think that there's a possibility that the Warriors were like, hey, man, we need you out there. You could really be an inspiration. We're not going to play you 40 minutes, but hey, if you could give us 25, I mean, we can't do this without you. You're our best player and stuff like that. So then Kevin Durant's sitting there like, yeah, like, damn, I don't feel ready to come back. But if I don't come back, then this whole storyline is going to continue and it's going to haunt me. And then where's that going to leave me? So, I mean, you got to ask yourself, did the Warriors like, hey, man, these guys probably going to be gone anyway. So let's come on, KD.
But okay, So what you're saying is you think that they withheld the seriousness and the possibility that he could get hurt a lot worse.
I think that he knew the injury. I think the Warriors knew the injury. I personally believe that the whole calf strain, quote unquote, was bull. I mean, he might have pulled it a little bit, but that was the only thing that happened to him against Houston. No, I don't believe that for 1 second. Now, I think KD knew the severity of the situation, but you got to think about the people that KD has in his camp and the people that he has around him, and then the whole storyline that was unfolding, all the talk that's been leading up to this, push KD in a direction that he should have never been pushed in the first place.
Here's the thing. Okay, assuming, let's just say that if they say to him, okay, KD, with your calf strain, because I think there was a public statement from the Warriors saying that they don't believe he could have hurt himself any worse.
Okay. The calf.
Right.
Maybe any worse.
Right. So I think it's a lot more likely that the Warriors told him something like, at this stage, your calf muscle is healing, or whatever strain it was is healing. There is a danger that you would damage stuff further. No, I'm not talking about what they say publicly, because teams will say publicly something different than they'll say privately. Okay. But KD chose to go out there. I think the team put it in KD's table on his, in his hands, saying, listen, maybe they said it, there's a remote possibility, or the calf muscle is intact, things look good, if you want to go out there and give it a shot. Okay? because I go back to the same thing. All right. And here's a football one for you. Okay. Julian Edelman, when we were watching the Super Bowl, and I believe that was the Super Bowl against the Seahawks when they came back, when they beat the Seahawks. Okay.
Mhm.
Everybody knows, everybody that watched that game, it wasn't publicized, it wasn't talked about. Julian Edelman got a concussion in that Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Okay. Because if you remember, he took one hell of a hit.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. And you could tell that when he got up, he was a little woozy. Okay. He came back in and they won the Super Bowl. All right. What's your opinion?
Hold on. You broke up there for a second. Say it again.
What's your opinion of Julian Edelman? See, that's what Everett Roldan is saying, right? He made a decision, go out there knowing the risk. Dude, if anything, I applaud that.
I'm not saying that.
I applaud that.
Okay. Yes, I'm not putting anything on KD. I'm putting something on the people around him that should have told him, "Hey, man.
All right. No,
we got to put you on the
I guess
shelf."
I can't argue with that because I mean, I look at it. Okay, if it was my brother or my son, yeah, you know, I look long term, and I'd say
that's
to
what
him,
I'm saying.
okay, I get
That's what
that.
I'm saying.
I get that.
Yes.
I get that. But at the same time, he is a grown man. Okay, we're not talking about a high school kid. We're talking about a grown ass man who's been in the league a long time. People forget KD is a long time veteran. Okay, and he knows he was a great player and he went a lot of years without sniffing a ring. Okay, so just because he has two, to say to him, okay, take it easy, look at the long term, relax, don't play. Hey, if they lose, they lose. We'll fight another day. Man, you're going against everything inside what makes an athlete a great athlete.
Yeah. Nina Joy said, I think KD knew this was his last year, so he said, "What the heck? I never know when I'll be back to the finals." I'm not, like I said, and like I've been saying, I'm not putting anything on KD. I'm not putting anything on KD.
But even going with that, even going with what you're saying, okay, even if they tell KD, listen, there's a because nobody knew he was going to rupture his tendon completely.
No, okay? But a lot of people knew that was.
Was it a possibility? Okay. Even at that, even if they tell him you have a risk of rupturing your Achilles tendon, you don't think he goes out there anyways?
I think Steve Kerr could be like, "No, you're not going to play."
Dude, I don't see. I don't. I don't agree.
We're not talking about Looney.
I don't agree.
We're not talking about throwing Looney out there with a freaking broken collarbone. No. We're talking about arguably the best player in the NBA. So, I mean...
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do you think it matters to KD that people consider him the best player in the NBA or not?
100%.
Correct. When you are considering who is the best player, their devotion to winning, isn't that a big factor in what you think makes the best player?
Into what the public perceives as being the best player?
I'm not talking about the public. Yes. In this case, I'm talking exactly what the public perception. When we talk about Michael Jordan, okay, I'll give you a perfect example.
I'll answer your question. No, because Kevin Durant went to Golden State because he wanted to win, right?
It's not true. Yeah, but his devotion to winning. When people talk about Michael Jordan, okay, many people consider him the greatest player that ever lived. All right. One of the things that they bring up was the day that he had the flu. And he put up 40 points with a huge fever and feeling horrible and a IV and everything that he had. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you look at back through the history of sports, okay, I'll show my age again. Willis Reed. Okay. Nobody remembers that Willis Reed, I think he scored 2 points in that game. He only played 6 minutes. Okay. But Willis,
hey, you're breaking up again, man. You're breaking up again. You're breaking
blown out knee. Okay, tried to play. Okay, how about now? Can you hear me?
Good now.
Everybody hear me good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Willis Reed, when the famous Willis Reed game, he only played 6 minutes in that game. All right. But he went out there to try to give it a shot. It inspired his team to win the title. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember many, many years ago, I believe you have to forgive me because I don't remember if he was Chinese or if he was Russian, but there was a gymnast at the Olympics. It was many, many years ago. And he had to do the rings. If you know, the rings are high off the ground. And he had a blown out knee. So what they did was they wrapped it, and his team needed it for them to win the team overall at the Olympics. They wrapped his knee out really tight, and he did his dismount. And when he landed, that he stuck the dismount, you could see tears coming down his cheeks because of how much pain he was in.
Yeah.
Those are the moments that we remember about sports, is the moments when athletes go above and beyond what their bodies can do and take things to a level that only the great ones can do. And KD, I think, deserved that opportunity to give it a shot. He gave it a shot. It didn't work out for him long term. But to me, if the doctors say you can play and Steve Kerr says, I'm not going to let you play, man, nobody would have supported that. Nobody would have supported that. Not even KD. Because KD would be like, you're trying to deprive me of an opportunity to win another title.
But I mean, I don't know, man.
You know, and I can tell you right now, think about it this way. Okay, assuming your case is correct, if the Warriors do not let him play, does that make it even greater that he leaves Golden State? Because that would make him angry. It'd make me angry. Because that's what I was going to ask everybody that's watching now. You tell me, if you were in KD's spot, even if you knew that there was a possibility you'd rupture your Achilles tendon, would you still not have tried to play? My answer is, hell yes, I'd try to play. Okay, a lot of people that are my age, you say the word Scottie Pippen, and one of the first things that comes to their mind is he did not play a game in the playoffs because of a migraine headache.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, we know migraines are a bad thing. They could cause like temporary blindness, and I'm not diminishing at all migraine headaches at all, but people remembered that. Okay, and you would see people throw things around like, oh, he didn't play because of a headache.
Because Isaiah Thomas played with his ankle messed up. I mean, okay, fine.
There you go.
I think that's
right,
something
Everett. That's a really good example.
But I think when you're talking about playing on a sprained ankle, you can't compare that to an Achilles tendon being compromised. I don't think those are two comparable things at all.
I'll give you an example.
I played with messed up ankles. Like
no. I'll give you an example.
Just because you have a sprained ankle, it's not like, okay, since your ankle's sprained, you might break your ankle. No. But if your Achilles is compromised, you could rupture your Achilles and you might not ever be the same player ever again.
No. I'll give you a perfect example. And this one just came to mind. I'm going to go back in the Wayback Machine again, being that I'm an old fart. Joe Namath, the year the Jets won their only Super Bowl. Okay. Joe Namath, the players talked about it. The players would actually get tears in their eyes because every week of that season, and it shortened his career. Joe Namath had a very short career because of it. One of the greatest passers of the football that anybody's ever seen. He was like Marino before Marino with the quick release. Namath had to have his knee drained and shot up every game of the 1968 season. Okay? In fact, they have an America's game, which is NFL does an America's game every single year for every world champion. So for every team that wins the Super Bowl, they do a special 1-hour show. Joe Namath had to have his knee drained and shot up. And Don Maynard, who was his star receiver and another Hall of Famer, said that it was fun because on Wednesday, Namath couldn't even walk. And by Sunday, everybody got well. And what he means was they took the needle. They shot up his knee. It shortened his career.
Right.
Okay.
I lost you again, big dog. Lost you again for a second.
And done. Joe, get about talking about Joe Namath.
Lost you again for a second.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah,
Namath.
you're good.
Joe Namath would not have made it to the Super Bowl. Would not have made it to the Hall of Fame if he did not shoot up his knee. Did this shorten his career? Absolutely. Okay. Why do we remember Joe Namath? Because of what he did.
Okay. I get it. I get it, man. Look. All right. I mean, look.
Ever brought up a great point, Isaiah Thomas. Dude, he couldn't walk on that ankle. They showed Everett, you're going to remember this. When they showed a picture of Isaiah Thomas's ankle, the damn thing didn't even look like an ankle. It was like this. You remember Everett when they showed the picture of his knee, of his ankle? It was huge, and he was playing on it.
An ankle is not an Achilles.
But you're going to tell me having an ankle that messed up doesn't endanger the Achilles? It endangers the Achilles. It endangers the knee.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
No, I'm not either. But the thing is, dude. The thing is, I just don't like the negativity either way. I don't like all the shade that was being thrown his way because of the fact that he wasn't playing. Because I knew that if he could play, he would play. And then I don't like the shade being thrown to the Warriors or through KD just because, oh well. He went to play and look what happened to him.
No, that shade is not, it's not valid. But I mean, I don't. Okay. How do you feel about? We got to get to this game, man. We got to get to this game tonight. My problem with KD has, and this is the problem that I'm gonna come to LeBron's defense here. All right. Why did LeBron get the heat? No pun intended. Why did everybody hate on LeBron for joining a super team? Yet everybody's talking about how winning these championships with the Warriors has taken KD's legacy to a whole nother level because he's a champion now. He's a two-time MVP.
But KD got a bunch of shade thrown his way for joining the Warriors
at first, but it went away quick.
No, I don't think to this day it's really gone away. I still think people factor that in there. And LeBron,
yeah, well, I'm one of them.
I don't think LeBron's shade was also because of the way he did it. The whole, he didn't tell the Cavaliers, and then he does the decision show.
Okay, no, yeah,
that's taking my talents to South Beach and all that stuff.
What's worse? LeBron going on ESPN saying that he's taking his talents to South Beach and saying not one, not two, not three. You think that's worse than joining a team that you were up on 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals and then losing to them and then going to join that super team? Mind you, a team that won how many games?
73.
Okay, so you're going to a team that set the record for the most regular season wins, all right? A team that already won a championship before you. Because mind you, when LeBron came to Miami, okay, yeah, you got D-Wade, you got Chris Bosh, who never played together, all right? And you had what? You had UD and
they got Mike Miller, and then later on they got
okay, later on.
Miller was there from the beginning.
No. I'm saying that those signings came after they signed.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. You're right.
Okay. So LeBron went into the Heat. Okay, yeah, I know you got Wade and you got Bosh, but you don't know what else you got. And Wade and Bosh never played together before LeBron got there either. So
right.
I think it's much worse what Kevin Durant did by joining not just a super team, but a team that whooped you, that you were up on 3-1, and they came back on you and won 3 straight and went to the NBA Finals. So you left and you went to that team.
Right.
A team that already won a championship. So in my opinion, I'm one of those people that when people talk about Kevin Durant, let's just say Kevin Durant doesn't win any more championships the rest of his career. Let's just say he opts into his player option with the Warriors next year. Obviously, he's not going to play, and then he says bye-bye. He goes to New York, or he goes wherever. He never wins again. Okay? are people going to put the same value on his 2 rings and his 2 finals MVPs when you start discussing the greats, or is there going to be a little asterisk next to it?
No, there's probably going to be a little asterisk next to it. I get it, and I get the asterisk. Okay, but again, if you're a player now, mind you, yes, would I have wanted to stay in Oklahoma State and beat them? Yes, I agree with you there. But there's one factor that I don't think anybody mentions, and that factor is named Russell Westbrook. Okay, and I'm sorry.
Whoa, watch out, because we have a diehard, one of my boys, diehard OKC fan in here, Ruben. And
Ruben,
I have a feeling you're gonna get into some Westbrook conversations that we've tried to tell him for a long time.
If I'm a great player, I don't want to play with Russell Westbrook. Period.
Why not?
Number one, he's selfish, makes poor decisions constantly. Okay, he is. Now, mind you, does he play hard? I'll give him that much. He plays as hard as any player I've ever seen and does it every night. I'll give him that much. Okay. But I think he realized that Russell Westbrook is never going to alter his game. Never. Okay. And what happened when KD had the opportunity to become a free agent? Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson all took time off. They weren't on vacation because, remember, they had gone to the finals 2 years in a row. So they didn't stop playing until the middle of June. Okay, yet they took time off and they went to meet with KD. And you had Steph Curry told KD, I don't care about MVPs. I don't care about anything else. I care about rings. And the fact that all 3 of those guys, instead of being on vacation and being in the Bahamas and taking it easy, they went to meet with KD to let them know how much he was needed and welcomed.
And where was Russell Westbrook in the meetings with OKC and with Kevin Durant?
Where was he?
He wasn't in the meetings.
There you go. And here's a guy.
What's going on, D-Rev? I just saw you get in here, baby. What's going on, man? He says, what's up, Junior Big Dog? They were behind the scenes business that were factored into KD's decision. He's getting that Silicon Valley money while getting rings. Hey, man.
You're right. And there's a lot of opportunities there for him, because everybody talks about like Golden State. Golden State can pay him. They could do a max deal. What I think was going to happen is KD's going to opt out and Golden State's going to step up to the plate and give him a 5-year max deal. And then he stays as a Warrior. That's what I think is going to happen.
Really?
Yes. I think Golden State. See,
I don't see that happening because KD is he's so emotional, man, and he cares so much about what people say that he wants to prove that he didn't need the Warriors to win a championship.
I'll tell you right now, I think it really mattered to KD that Steph Curry and Iguodala both escorted him off the court when he got hurt. I think that's going to mean a lot to him. And he knew that game was still going on, and Curry and Iguodala walked him all the way back to the locker room. Okay? Yeah. That's saying something to KD. That they care about him as a person. Okay, and I'm not getting all touchy-feely, but the fact is that 2 of your players that were that were playing in the game walked the guy all the way back to the locker room with the injury. I think that matters to him.
I wouldn't know if I was Curry and Iguodala, I probably would have walked them all the way back to his house, knowing that they probably can't win. They can't win without him. Frankly, they can't win. They can't win without KD, man. Look, at the end of the day, throwing all that money to Kevin Durant, I get it, okay. But this Warrior team, and this is the reason why before the series started, I said Raptors in 6. All right, we're gonna get into our predictions about the game tonight. Yeah, but
you
shortly.
said Raptors in 6 because you thought KD wasn't going to play at all.
100%. If KD would have played, Golden State in 5 or 6. But I'll pick Golden State in 6 because Game 6 would have been, like it is tonight in Oracle. But KD. If it's not for KD, man, I mean, how many and I told you this the other day. Okay, if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love don't go down that first year, all right, LeBron James took him to 6 games by himself with Matthew Dellavedova as his sidekick.
Right.
All right.
Right.
If Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving don't go down that first year, how many rings do the Golden State Warriors have without Kevin Durant?
Oh, no, but hold on. But if you're going to do that, then do the flip side of it too. The flip side of it too, that it took a out of his mind game by Kyrie Irving and an out of his mind game by LeBron to win that series in 7.
Yeah, because he's LeBron James.
No, but the series that they beat him, they had Kyrie, they had Kevin Love, okay, and Game 7, Kyrie scored what, 43?
No, yeah, and he hit that 3-pointer for sure.
Okay, then
100%. You need good players. You need great players to win championships.
But my point is the Warriors could have won that series, just as easy as the Cavs did.
Yeah, but they didn't. When everybody was healthy on both sides, I mean, who won?
Dude, some people would say that if the Warriors weren't chasing that 73 wins that year, that maybe they wouldn't run out of gas. Okay, and also hold on, and Draymond got suspended Game 5 of that series.
So what?
And they were down 3-1. So if Draymond plays where was Game 5?
Draymond's a bum.
Where was Game 5? At Oracle. Okay. Do you think the Cavs beat them twice in 3 games at Oracle with Draymond Green?
Toronto did it this year
without KD.
Okay, so what? They didn't have KD then either.
And Clay, you remember? You forgot the fact that Clay got her series too.
Oh man! All right,
that's what I'm saying. So you could always play the game, man. That what if what could have happened and this and that. So the fact is, man, I understand why people might not like the Warriors. I get that. Okay, I don't
have any problem with the Warriors. I have a problem with Kevin Durant joining the Warriors the way he did. That's my only issue.
But again,
I don't like it.
We go back to Russell Westbrook. He played with Russell Westbrook for years. Nothing was going to change. He knew nothing was going to change.
And look, Ro brings up a good point. What does that say about Kevin Durant's leadership?
Listen, I wasn't a big fan of his leadership when he was at OKC, necessarily. So there are guys, leadership gets thrown around a lot, okay, because I don't think LeBron James is a leader. Period. Never have. Okay, so people throw around, just because you're a great player or the best player on a team doesn't necessarily make you a leader of a team. Okay. What makes you a leader of a team has a lot more things involved than just who's the best player.
No, I get it, but I mean, I think LeBron James is. I think he's definitely shown leadership.
Really,
when it comes to on the court, on the court, yeah, I think on the court.
Yeah, like when he gets on his teammates publicly when his man scores, that's showing leadership on the court.
No, I don't. But I think he's a better leader than KD.
I don't see. There's been a lot of good leaders in basketball. Okay, you know my favorite player of all time, and he was a leader.
No, I get it.
Okay, and Michael Jordan was a leader in a different way. He just led. I didn't necessarily like the way Michael Jordan led, but he was a leader. There's no doubt he was a leader. And who's a leader like that now? I mean, a lot of ways, Wade was a leader. I mean, LeBron didn't even take over the Heat until Wade said, dude, you got to make this your team after the Mavericks loss. So, I mean, I get that. I do get that there's people that will always hold that against KD. I understand that.
I think Kawhi is a leader just by example. I mean, he's all business. He doesn't He doesn't mess around, man.
Okay,
I love Kawhi.
let me ask you a question. You don't think that there's people that are always going to remember Kawhi not playing last year
Well, but
when the doctors told him he was fine?
yeah, but then his other doctors that he got second and third opinions from said he wasn't ready to go.
Okay, so what was his injury?
The Spurs, and this goes back to the whole thing with KD and stuff like that. You know, it intertwines a little bit. You know, the Spurs doctors said Kawhi was good to go. When Kawhi got other opinions from other doctors, he said he wasn't good. He wasn't good to go.
Okay.
Does Kawhi seem to you like he's the type of player that would just sit out, even though
No,
you know he feels like he's 100% healthy? I mean,
No.
because Kawhi doesn't
No.
strike that to me.
no, you're right. And Kawhi is somebody I'd take on my team anytime.
He's
Anytime.
100%, and he's one of these players, you know, that we're seeing a big drop off when it comes to two-way players in the NBA, and this is why people put James Harden as one of the best players in the NBA, and okay, he can be, but you have to play both sides of the court in order for you to be considered the best player in the NBA. And Kawhi has thrown himself into that conversation.
Absolutely.
And I said it even before he got hurt with the Spurs. I'm like, people are sleeping on Kawhi because he's quiet. He doesn't care about media interviews. He's not on Twitter. So people tend to forget about Kawhi. You don't see him in commercials, you know, but you want to talk about a leader that, you know, on both sides of the floor, he gives it his all.
He leads by example. He does.
Yeah,
He does.
He does.
And he puts his team on his back. So I'll give him that much. I mean, and there I could give you examples of leaders, even in recent. Wade was a leader. You gonna tell me Wade wasn't a leader?
Oh yeah, no, Wade was definitely
100%. He was a leader of the team.
And no, like you said, if Wade is the one that, I mean, I think the series against the Mavericks with LeBron, I think if LeBron was the leader that was a leader, I don't think we win that series. I think it
You don't
took.
think we lose that series? You mean?
What did I say? A 1? Oh yeah, we definitely lost.
Yeah, we definitely.
Yeah,
lost
I don't think we.
Right.
I think we win that series if LeBron
steps up. Absolutely.
Is LeBron steps up and is the leader that, you know, Wade's the one that had to be like, hey man, this is your team. You know,
there was times that you could see it on the court that Wade would pass him the ball, and then Wade would get it back from him, and you could tell Wade was looking at him like going, "Dude, what are you waiting for?" You know, and stuff like that.
He was playing hot potato with it. So,
listen,
but then
my favorite basketball player of all time is Magic Johnson. Okay, because this is full disclosure for everybody. Before we got the Heat, I became a Heat fan as soon as we got them, but I was born in 1965, so early 70s. We didn't have obviously any basketball team in the NBA, and I picked, because of Wilt Chamberlain, I picked the Lakers. And then when Magic Johnson, went to the Lakers, I thought it was like a gift from God directly to me. So my favorite player of all time is Magic, and that's a guy that you want to talk about leader. That's a leader.
No, and this goes back to the whole, like, look at what Wade did with LeBron. And Wade was still in his prime. Let's not forget. Yeah. Wade got old quick in that second series against the Spurs, especially. But Wade was still in his prime, and he recognized and he knew, in order for us to win, you gotta take the bull by the horns, Bron, and you this has to be your team, and you have to take it to the championship. And that's one of my biggest criticisms about Westbrook. And yeah, you could blame KD's leadership and him. But I think that's the reason why there was beef there.
Roel made that point. I agree with you. I agree with Roel.
I think that's why there was beef broiling between KD and Russ, because Russ didn't want to give it up. Russ didn't want to give it up. Russ thought that, and he still thinks that he's a better player than Kevin Durant. And he still thinks that he's one of the best players on the planet, if not the best player. Okay. You could think that, fine. But if you want to win,
I will tell people this. Okay. If you think Russell Westbrook is a great, let me requalify that, because he is a great player. You can't say he's not a great player. If you all think that anyone that thinks that Russell Westbrook is in any conversation for the greatest point guard of all time, I will answer you with one thing and one thing only. Okay. who is for the last 10 years almost the most unstoppable offensive scorer in the NBA?
And how many years?
In the last 10 years, who has been the most unstoppable offensive force in the NBA?
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Okay. How come if Russell Westbrook is a great point guard, how come he shot more than Kevin Durant every single year? Every single year, he averaged more shots when he's a poor shooter. Because look at I don't think he's ever gotten close to 50%. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Russell's gotten better. I think his lifetime is right around like 43. And from 3-point, it's like 30 or 30, 32, so some really low percentage. I don't have it. You can pull it up in front of you. So if your best percentage guy is Kevin Durant, who's unstoppable because of his height and his wingspan, and you shoot that many times, you don't belong in that conversation of the greatest point guards of all time.
No, I agree. Niner Droid, I know you're saying we're 13 minutes behind, but no, we were just referring to a comment that we saw from Royale before. I think we're pretty on point with you guys, at least, you know, in terms of getting the chats and stuff like that. So, all right, man, let's not, you know, make this too crazy long.
Yes.
So who do you got tonight, first of all? And you guys in the chat, who do you got tonight?
And I got the Warriors.
You got the Warriors.
I got the Warriors in 7. I think they go back to Toronto and beat them.
I think there's a oh man, I think it's gonna be close. I think this might be an overtime game, to be honest with you, tonight. Yeah, I think the game tonight might be. It could be an overtime game. I think. Or you think what? The Warriors will blow them out?
I think game 7 will be a epic, if not overtime, an epic last minute game. But I think the Warriors throw their doors off today.
I think it could go both ways, but one way I don't think it'll go is a blowout on any side. I think all these games have been fairly close. I mean, fairly good. I think game 5
wins today will be champion. Yeah, I agree.
Well, I mean, yeah, the Toronto wins today.
Well, Toronto wins. It has to be. No, but I think the Warriors win today and they win game 7.
I kind of feel like the Warriors got to. I mean, not the Warriors. The Raptors got to win today, so my prediction could come right. Because I said Raptors in 6 before it started, and everybody called me crazy. What? Come on, man.
There's something to be said about a champion who's on the ropes and who feels, how can I put this, that they feel salty. They feel salty because they believe they're a better team than the Raptors are. And the whole thing that happened with KD, all the shade throw KD's way, all these things, I think the Warriors have like an us against them mentality now, which they haven't needed to have most of the time.
And for you to say a better team, I think, and this is one of the points that I was trying to make earlier, that this Warriors team, obviously without Kevin Durant, is not the same Warriors team we saw in those first couple of years, you know, without KD in terms of depth. So I don't think
exactly. But that's my point. So when people start telling me that they wouldn't have won these 2 rings if it wasn't for KD, okay, slow your roll, because without KD, they could go out and get a lot more role players that they've had to let go of, guys that were important to them. Okay, guys that were good role players, they couldn't go out and get. So I think the Warriors would have had just as good of a chance as they had the 2 previous years without KD.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's who I got. I got the Warriors winning this one and winning it in 7. 7th game will be close. I think this one will be a blowout. I expect Steph and Klay both to have huge games tonight.
As much as I want my prediction to come right, I think that Golden State does win tonight in a close one. I don't think they're going to blow them out. But when it does go back to game 7, I think Toronto ends up closing them out in game 7. In another close one, obviously. But I think Golden State does take it today. I think, when you're playing in a game 6, especially like in any playoff series really, but in the NBA finals, and you're the team that's one win away from the championship, and you got that game 7 on your home floor. If the game does start to get out of hand, especially late, there's something in your subconscious that kind of, like just starts that you just know, like, okay, we're still good. We just need to win. Right. We got game 7.
Right, where the Warriors have their back against the wall. They know they have to win.
They know they have to win. So I still don't think Golden State's gonna blow them out the water because like Royale said, the Raptors have the best player on the court. I'll take Kawhi Leonard. I think he's one of the best players. He's top 3. You put LeBron, KD, and
Giannis.
and Kawhi. Yeah, I put Kawhi still ahead of Giannis because Giannis can't shoot. So okay. I put Kawhi there in the top 3. Then
if I'm drafting players, Giannis is my first pick. If I'm drafting players,
well, because of his age,
right.
Yeah. Moving forward, I think I don't see anybody.
Because you look at all the other guys. All the other guys are much further along in terms of age.
Yeah. 100%. So I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. My X factor. You want me to give you who I think is gonna pop off today for the Warriors and who I think is gonna lift them up to this win?
Iguodala?
Quinn Cook.
Oh wow.
That boy needs to step.
Yeah,
up,
he does.
Man.
He does.
He needs to step up, and he did.
So you don't push Steph to the edge in terms of fatigue.
So I think when Curry's taking some
breathers,
some breathers, and Quinn Cook in that last game, all right, he was playing awesome. He was finding the open man. He hit a couple of threes. So I think he's ready for that stage, frankly. So I think Quinn Cook is gonna. I'm not saying he's gonna put up 20 points, but I'm saying I think Quinn Cook, and I think that bench, what I'm saying, whether it be we'll see.
That bench of the Warriors is thin, though.
I know, but that's why. But that's why I'm saying Quinn Cook is one that could keep the defense honest, and if he hits a couple shots, a couple threes, I think Quinn Cook is gonna have an impact in this game.
Do you know what I would do if I was Steve Kerr? And this goes to what Niner Droid said earlier.
Watch. I'm calling it. Watch. You're gonna see Cook. You're gonna see him hit some big shots. You're gonna be like, "Man, Junior was right." Watch. That's my bold statement for this game.
I'll tell you. I'll give you a bold statement. What I believe is going to be important. If I was Steve Kerr, what I do? I start Boogie Cousins, and I play Boogie Cousins 30 minutes. That's what I would do if I was Steve Kerr.
Well, you might as well, because he's another one that's going to be gone after this year too. So you might as well push him out there and have him maybe blow his Achilles the way Steve Kerr forced KD to blow his Achilles out there.
He didn't force anybody to blow his Achilles. But I think Boogie has to be big for them in the series, both Game 6 and Game 7. Maybe even more important, Game 7. I think Boogie has to give him quality minutes, and I'd throw him out there. He has to be big on the boards. And he has to get him some points, some easy buckets on the offensive end. And I think if they do that, I think the Warriors can win handily today, and they'll take Game 7. So Boogie has to be.
It'll be a hell of a storyline. I love Game 7. So what I love about this series, especially the games that we've witnessed, because we witnessed some great games. I'm glad I don't have anything invested into the series because I'm not stressing. I get to just lay back and enjoy the games. But I do want to see a Game 7. That's something that you always talk about. Game 7 of the NBA Finals, or the Super Bowl, or Game 7 of the World Series. I mean, Game 7, baby. So I'm rooting for a Game 7. But yeah, I agree. I think Boogie has to start. I think if Boogie struggles early,
even if he doesn't start 30 minutes, he has to get 25, 30 minutes.
But I'll tell you something.
And he has to play well in those minutes.
But I think one of the reasons, and a Niner Jordan, I believe, pointed this out. Oh man, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, that I think one of the big reasons why Boogie had a big game 5 was because, you know, Bogut played ahead of him, and Looney obviously played ahead of him, and he was benched. He looked like Steve Kerr just put him on the shelf. So I think that lit a fire under Boogie, and I think that's gonna be key. If Boogie starts to struggle early, turns over the ball, you gotta take him out.
Right.
You can't play around. One thing that is gonna be big,
No,
and one thing that the Warriors have been doing all series long is turning the ball over way too much.
Well, and what bothers me about that is a lot of the turnovers have been silly turnovers, have been hot dog, trying to pass lackadaisically. Those turnovers drive me crazy. And you know how much I like Steph Curry's game and stuff. And Steph does it a lot. And it just drives me nuts because it's showboating for the sake of showboating. Because if you do a no-look pass, okay, there's a reason to do a no-look pass when you're trying to get a basket so you don't alert the defense where the ball is going. Okay. But that the little no-look shove, you can't even see my hand when I do this, but the little, like, looking this way, but you're passing it to the guy at the 3-point line who it's not gonna lead to a basket. Those turnovers drives me crazy because they're silly, stupid, avoidable turnovers. So I agree with you there. They have to avoid the turnovers.
All right, man. So let's
But I think
start.
Game 7 has to be big. Game 6 tonight, I think they can get by without a big performance from Boogie. Game 7, if Boogie doesn't score at least 15, they're going to lose.
So what's your final score? What are you looking at? Yeah.
Tonight I'm going 118 to 99. So I got them winning. Tonight I got them winning by 19.
That might be worse than my Quinn Cook prediction about lighting it up tonight. All right. I don't see how you see a blowout, really?
You blow up. Game 6, I see it a blowout.
That's assuming that the Raptors just fold, man.
The Raptors have Game 7 in their back pocket. The Warriors don't.
All right. I got as much as I want, like I said, to my prediction to come to fruition. I got the Warriors winning 107-102.
Okay.
So I got them winning by 5.
Right.
But yes, we'll see what happens.
Please like if you haven't already, and thank everybody for the support. Couple of shout outs.
We don't have that many people. I know it's not. This is our first NBA video, so there ain't that many people in here.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, we're gonna start, branching out a little bit. Our channel's gonna be Miami Hurricanes football focused, but we're gonna be branching out to, obviously we're covering the NBA now because it's just the hottest thing that's going on right now, and there's a lot of storylines that we wanted to talk about. So I hope you guys enjoy the storylines. But we're gonna be covering NFL, obviously NFL fantasy, and
get Big Dog his meds.
Yeah, because the blowout. So yeah, back to what I was saying, guys. If you're watching this video on playback, and you enjoying the content and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Me and the Big Dog, we really appreciate it. Like I said, we're Miami Hurricanes football. If you see our videos, 98%, almost 99% have been all Canes, but we're trying to cover other things, and we kind of wanted to change it up a little bit and talk about the finals. So
now the next we'll do a live cast again next week, but we're going to do a podcast over the weekend, and that will be on the Miami Hurricanes football staff, all the new hires that Manny Diaz did. And so for all of you that we're going to do the Hurricanes always. We're always going to do a Hurricanes one, probably at least once a week, a Hurricanes one, and then maybe a live chat or some other stuff thrown in there. But you are going to get, as you can tell, a lot of Hurricanes material. But so our podcast will drop over the weekend, and that will be on the Hurricanes coaching staff. So any questions before we go?
Yeah, Big Dog, that final score scared me. And Niner Droid. How about FSU next? I mean,
no, I'm sorry. We don't cover Division 3 colleges at all. And
yeah,
if
because
FSU isn't a
they're
Division
not
3, they should be.
they're not Division 1 anymore,
They,
right?
they are. You know what though? I'll give something from Niner Droid, so he didn't know this. You know what? The FSU, and this is a fact, you can look it up. They are number 1 in the worst academic progress rate score in Division 1 football in all of FBS. Florida State's academic progress rate is dead last. Just want to throw that out there. Not that I'm happy about it, of course. The
No.
smile and stuff, don't let that fool you.
Hey, we have more respect for FSU than we do the Gators. So
Well, that
at,
now
le-
you know.
at least you're not a Gator, Niner Droid. Oh, I think I lost you, man. I think I
For me,
lost you, big dog.
you got me now.
Yeah, I
You
think
have
I
me?
got you now. Yeah, you're good now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, sorry, guys. I apologize for that. We have a big storm here where I live in Ohio.
They don't have,
and it's been pouring rain and
yeah, they don't have Wi-Fi in Ohio. He's connected on dial-up right now.
Oh yeah, I do have Wi-Fi, but the weather's really bad here, so I think that might be affecting our connection. There's like I think there was even a tornado warning for associated with this. But anyway, where were we at? What were we saying?
Just making fun of FSU. And at least he's not a Gator.
Oh, that's true. You know, that's the thing with you and me, that you never understood why I hated the Gators more than FSU. And the fact is, I sort of had respect for the FSU because even though when we were beating them and depriving them of national championships, they never once even threatened to stop the yearly game. FSU kept playing. They kept kicking field goals wide left or wide right, and they kept losing, but they kept playing. The Gators, as soon as they started getting their butts handed to them, they stopped the series.
Mm-hmm.
And now Dan Mullen, the coach, comes out and says, "Oh, I'd be fine playing the Hurricanes every year," because he knows the athletic director is never going to do it.
Yeah.
So at least the FSU didn't dodge us. Now you know why I hated the Gators always so much.
I just see it on Twitter because I grew up a lot more since I'm younger with the FSU rivalry. You go further back than I do, so you obviously have the hatred. But leading up to this game, August 24th, man, I'm seeing these Gator fans on Twitter, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm starting to get it a lot more on why old school Canes fans hate the Gators more than they do FSU. And then FSU always had Bobby Bowden as well, and you can't hate Bobby Bowden. I mean, come on, if you don't like Bobby Bowden, something's wrong with you. But yeah,
when I was
respect.
a kid, I'll tell you guys this quick story. When I was a kid, but you have to remember, I'm talking going back to the 70s. So obviously there wasn't ESPN. ESPN hadn't been started yet, and there wasn't cable and there wasn't satellite. So we had like 3 channels. So on Sunday mornings, I would get up and I'd watch the Hurricanes, whoever was the coach at the time, their little program on Sunday mornings of the game that happened on Saturday, and then I watched Bobby Bowden's. And then I think they had maybe a Notre Dame but whatever those morning shows that they had on Sunday mornings. And Bobby Bowden was the funnest watch because there'd be a football play that you'd be seeing on the TV, and Bobby Bowden would start talking about the play and then start talking about the rhubarb pie that the defensive tackle's mother made him when he went to visit her. And then he started talking about the player's mother, and the plays would still be running, and Bobby Bowden would be talking about nothing of the football. And he'd just go off on all these, country stories of his, and he was fun to watch. So I couldn't build up. I hated FSU and Deion Sanders and their players and stuff. I hated their players, but you can't really hate Bobby Bowden. And so even though we had a tough rivalry with FSU, our Gators rivalry for me was even worse.
Yeah, what's going on? Slim Shady Kane, what's going on, baby?
What's up?
We're about to head out, man. We talked,
That's right. Hey, Slim Shady. Not only are they 1-7, if you go back to the 70s, they are 4-12 against us. We
There
won
you go.
12 of the last 16.
And roll Dave. Maybe we'll start diving into the Marlins. If they get to maybe 10 games under 500, because I think right now they're 20 or they're like 18, they're like 24 and like 24 and 40 or 24 and like 40 something.
No, we do have to cover the Marlins because I think I'm actually pitching for them on next Tuesday.
There you go.
So
there you go. Hey guys, those of you that have, not many of you, but those of you that did join us for this episode, thank you for joining
by the
us.
way,
Slim Shady Canes, it's all good, baby. Hey, we're gonna be doing.
Anybody want to throw out? Do they have any Hurricanes questions that we can answer before we go that we didn't talk about?
I think Slim Shady Kane is probably the only Kane in here right now.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure if there was some Canes questions, they didn't go unanswered.
Yeah, Slim Shady Kane is all good, man. We're gonna be doing a live stream. This time, like I was saying earlier, we did an NBA Finals thing. Trying to give the Canes a break, but we're all about that. We bleed orange and green, man. So we're gonna be coming out with a video covering the coaches, an in-depth coverage of every single coach, because I know there's a lot of new faces on
all
the coaching staff.
Right. All the new coaches. We're gonna cover
our new coaches.
Right. In our next, that podcast we're gonna film on Saturday, and it'll drop either Saturday evening or Sunday, and that will be on all the new hires. Not just Dan Enos, but talking about Butch Berry, the offensive line coach, the differences, the changes that we did in the recruiting department, promoting David Cooney, and then talking about David Feely, our strength and conditioning coach, but just an in-depth look on all the new coaches and staff that will be dropping this weekend, and that'll be all about the U. So it'll be all about the Hurricanes.
Yes, sir.
And we are, like I said, we're always going to do a Hurricane show every week, but then additionally we'll throw in NFL shows. This time it's the NBA, sports in general. So we are going to talk about that, and that's, I think that's about it. But thank everybody for their support, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Ro, go check out that flow video that we did, the last one that we put up. Go check that out. I mean, we'll see what's up. But thank you guys. Hope you have a good night. We're about an hour away from game time of the NBA Finals Game 6, so I'm excited. But thank you guys again for joining us. Like, subscribe, share if you can. We would really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
And hit the notifications bell. And by the way, being that this was like an NBA Finals thing, am I still allowed to do this? Because it's always all about the U.
Yes, sir.
Good night, guys.
All right. Good night, boys.